So I wanted to come on here and do this update on Corey Pujols, or is it Pujols? I can't remember if I'm pronouncing his name correctly or not. Someone can correct me down in the comments. Involving the incident with him and that palm-colored individual down in Florida at that Dunkin Donuts that he was the manager at. Well, it looks like to me right now things are kind of looking up for Corey, because according to this article that I'm going to read from Newsweek, he was just recently released on a $15,000 bond. And this article was posted on the 17th of May. And it's crazy because I feel like I uploaded the video surrounding that incident around that time. But you know, with me, when I'm so backed up with content, they're not going to come out on the same exact day as the story is released. So it might be a couple of days of a delay. But apparently he's out of jail right now. I think the charges, of course, are still there. So he probably has like an ankle monitor on of some sort. But he's currently not locked up. So I'm going to go ahead and read this article. It says a Dunkin manager has been released from jail on a $15,000 bond, which at 10% is like $1,500, after an elderly customer died after being struck by a single punch. Now, here's the thing. You got to pay attention to how they write that. The punch is not what killed the elderly PC racist. The fall and him hitting his head is what killed him. Because I don't want to believe that the punch actually killed him. It was the fall that did it. So blame his soft head in that hard ground. Corey Pujols, age 27, is said to have punched a 77-year-old customer after the man reportedly called him a racial slur in a Marathon gas station in Tampa, Florida on May 4th, according to the Tampa Bay Times. Officers were alerted and they found the victim was unconscious and bleeding from his head. Paramedics then took him to Tampa General Hospital, where he was put in intensive care and died 2 days later. According to the outlet, Pujols, who is black, told the police the customer was extremely rude and called him a racial slur. Corey reportedly said he asked the man to repeat the slur and then punched the customer, which caused him to fall backward and hit his head on the concrete floor. An autopsy showed the victim had a skull fracture and brain contusions as a result of blunt trauma to the head. Court records obtained by Fox 4 News said the customer had been upset about the service at the Dunkin drive-thru and went into the fast food restaurant to complain. Corey was initially arrested on the charge of battery on a person older than 65, although a fresh warrant was issued for his arrest on a charge of aggravated manslaughter of a person older than 65. It is a first-degree felony that can carry a maximum of 30 years in prison. I'm still trying to figure out how that was a first-degree felony, because he did not premeditate to kill that man. He did not go in there to work that day with the intent to murder this man. That's why I said hopefully they overcharged him, and whoever he has on his side can weave that through, and if he does have to go to trial, that he can be found guilty. And if y'all hear some dinging, that's just my phone notifications going crazy right now. On Thursday, Corey asked to be released from jail, and the defense reached an agreement with the prosecutors to release him on a $15,000 bond. Hillsborough County Circuit Judge Catherine Catlin did not initially agree to let Corey out on bond, but ultimately approved his release. That's crazy. Now, this is a rarity, because he asked to be released and he actually got released. And remember, he did not have a bond initially, but they let him go. So something tells me, and I hope I'm not, and I feel like I'm not jumping the gun with this, but I hope that I'm not. If it feels or sounds like that, I am. It sounds like to me, even they know that he didn't mean to do this. It just happened. Like I said, the punch is not what killed the man. I don't even know where he punched this man at. For all we know, he could have punched him in the chest. But let's just say he did punch him in the face. The punch is not what killed him. Because say the guy got punched and he was still standing. That wouldn't have killed him. It probably would have at most just gave him a black eye or gave him a bruise or a scrape wherever he got hit at. It was the fall that happened, because remember they said when he fell and hit his head, that he was bleeding out of his head. So it was the fall and hitting his head on the floor. That's what did it, not the punch. So they need to keep that in mind when or if this goes to trial. According to the outlet, she said, "Far be it for me to interfere with Corey. It's very fortunate for you because I believe your bond should be enhanced based on the facts of the criminal report affidavit." Pujols replied, "Yes, Judge, completely understood. Thank you, Judge." In a statement sent to Newsweek, a Dunkin' spokesperson said, "Following the incident, we are deeply saddened by the incident at our franchise restaurant in Tampa, Florida. The franchisee, who independently owns and operates this restaurant, is fully cooperating with local authorities. As this is an ongoing investigation, we defer any additional questions to the police." Newsweek has contacted the Tampa Police Department for comment. But yeah, so that's pretty much the only update right here. He's out on bond. The person who approved it feels that he should have had an enhanced bond considering what happened. But like I said, and keep this in y'all brains, whoever is looking at this video and listening right now, the punch is not what killed that man. The fall after the punch is what killed him. Just keep that in mind going forward. And like I said, whoever is representing him, they need to make sure they keep that in mind going forward should there be a trial. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.